Yes, hello and welcome to today's stream here in the lovely little twisty circuit of Laguna Seca, where we have a couple of races for you to enjoy. We've brought the Vivace Cup cars out, another new car for us here in BeamGP. 2 races and 2 fresh new starts for all of these drivers. We've got a couple of drivers who have done the last race as well, which you can watch on our YouTube channel. Namely the likes of Doma, Rio, Goose and Chili. And Rye Bread. Just just watching Doma as they go around to start their first flying lap. We'll actually ride on board with Doma to see how they go. We'll bring up the race info real quick as we watch them go into turn 1. So Laguna Seca, it's a well-known track here in here in the in California, as you can see. It's just under 2.25 miles in length, and it has a very, very famous corner halfway through, the famous corkscrew chicane. Drivers love it, drivers hate it. One thing you can't deny, it certainly punishes the weak. If you take it just wrong, well, it certainly will let you know by sending you straight off into the gravel. Alongside me in the commentary box then, I'm your commentator, that naff dude, but alongside me we have Chris. Hello Chris, how are you doing?
Hello there. Doing quite well. We just got done with the Aria Cup. I believe Jamie Rocker is also here in the commentary booth with us.
Is he?
Yeah,
I didn't hear you.
I'm having some PC issues, so I'm not able to join the race, so I figured I'd do some commentary as well.
Oh, lovely. I will just let you have a look at me then. And just do that. Let's pop the graphic up again. Yami, of course, a 3-time champion here in BeamGP. He knows his way around these tracks. You'd hope so, at least. 4 minutes left of qualifying. Doma just about to finish their first lap here. Let's see how they do. Second race here in BeamGP. Of course, didn't quite make it to the second race in Arias just a few moments ago. Across the line, and they're going to have to set another lap. Hopefully they can keep it legal. Let's have a quick look at Goose then. If I can find them in the leaderboard. Here we go. The Goose. A very well-known driver here in BeamGP. He's been here for quite a few years now, not just seasons, actual years. Is a platinum-rated driver making his way through the corkscrew. 3 minutes left in the session. Go on, Jamie.
He was the inaugural GCWC World Champion by way of disqualification after the original announced champion was disqualified for technical infringements. He inherited the title.
Sounds like you've got a little bit of malice behind those words.
No, I wasn't around that season, so. But no, he's a quick driver. He's a quick driver. He's got pace, but consistency is. I wouldn't say it's a strong suit. But
he's certainly been working on that, I think.
Certainly want to keep an eye on him in the race, that's for sure. It won't be boring with him driving.
Well, we'll keep an eye on him if he's in any battles. Of course, just an hour ago, he was beating the field by about 10 seconds at least. I think the first race, he was more than that in front of the next few drivers behind him, watching the final couple of drivers drab their way across the line. Train then going up to P2, just 4 tenths behind Goose, who set a 1:39.5. Drivers only allowed to do 2 laps here. Doma finally getting a lap in. Let's have a quick look at Rio. Third race here in BeamGP, second round. And currently, they are also doing the same thing that Doma had to. Just having to push and not set an invalid lap time, hoping to stay within the white lines. Let's watch them then through the penultimate corner, out of the rainy corner, although it's pretty dry today, and around the final corner for the run up to the start-finish line, and actually stops on the grid, interestingly. So that is going to be them starting P10. Oh, they've left the server. Oh, interesting.
They're out of the way before someone else comes around.
They've deleted their car, so that is certainly something to keep thoughts about.
Right now, Jamie, what do you reckon is going to take it home here at Laguna Seca?
It's a 4-horse race, if I'm being honest. It's a 4-horse race. You could say, be out for the win, provided no extreme chaos. I reckon it's between Goose Train and Rye-Bred. Chili's in there. Happy Dolphin, I haven't seen much of him. I think he did the Pestman Light race. His pace wasn't too bad, but yet to be proven in terms of racing wheel to wheel, unlike the others. I mean, Train and Rye-Bred especially, more so Train is. Well, I think Train is statistically the most experienced driver in BeamGP history. He has the most races started of anyone, and he's a quite clean driver. He's very fun driver to go wheel to wheel against. So it'd be interesting a few scraps of him. He has 171 sports car starts, 91 open wheel and 4 oval. So he's driven a fair bit, you could say.
Well, let's see how he does in today's race. Let's have a quick look then at the grid for race 1. We've got Goose on pole, Train Red at P2. Pretty good showing from both of them. A really tight gap up in the top 2 slots. Row 2 then is taken up by Rye-Bred on the left slot. Only 2/10 to Train in front. Happy Dolphin keeping up their spat of good luck in P4. Hopefully they can make a few positions and keep up at the front of the pack. Chile then, P5. Pretty good showing from them. We hope to see them getting a little bit higher as well. iCrafter P6, really good showing from iCrafter. They've actually been pretty strong in recent series, so it's good to see them up the top of this pretty packed field here in BeamGP. Bro goes on to P7 with Domo on P8. 2 drivers started at the first recent era of ranked series after the issues in April. Eagle then lines up P9. Pretty disappointing showing from Eagle. They've been pretty strong recently. Hopefully they can make their way up. Rio lines up P10, started today, and P11 goes to Shukul. They've been pretty strong recently. Hopefully again they can make their way up the grid order as well throughout the race. Well, a few minutes left until we get going here in Laguna Seca. Once again, your commentators are me, that Nath dude, Chris alongside me, and Jamie, 3-time BeamGP World Champion.
Now, still a few more moments till we get into some racing action here at Laguna Seca. While we're trying to figure out with the racing system. Now, I did ask Jamie, and I'm gonna ask you now. Who do you reckon is gonna take it home at Laguna Seca?
With a gap of 4/10, and with the dominant performance that we saw just a couple minutes ago in the Aria Cup, which you can watch on our YouTube channel, I think it's going to be Goose, but I'm also not counting out Chile. Chile, he's quite... if he can stay in slipstream, he's very, very powerful with the slipstream. So if he can just keep behind Goose, I think that we're going to have a pretty nice little battle here throughout the whole race.
That's well said now. We're still waiting on the session to be set, and we do see Eagle driving around for some odd reason. Well, all the other drivers are sitting waiting in the pits. We also see now Jamie driving off, so it looks like he's going to leave the commentary booth now.
Well, that is unfortunate. It is free practice while we wait for the grid to be set in the systems. So at any point we'll get the drivers teleported to the grid as we see Eagle running wide. While it is free practice, the drivers are free to leave the pits and do as much practice as they would like.
I suppose that would be fair. Sorry?
Oh, no, after you.
Well, I would say practice would be needed, because I just know we're headed to have some third one chaos, especially at Laguna Seca. You can agree with me on that one.
Oh, Turn 1 at Laguna Seca is famous for its massive backlogs, and well, here in BeamGP, a lot of drivers taking an early walk to the pits, either taking a tow or limping their cars around the track. As we see Eagle drifting his car around the circuit right now. Just trying to find something to do while we wait for the session to get started. Is there any word from race control?
Not that I see. We're apparently Jamie getting special treatment for practice. And I believe all the drivers are grid up yet again. So we might go into racing in any moment now. I know I've been singing that quite a lot now, but what can I say?
And literally anything else. Just having a look at the level of detail. It's quite interesting here in BeamNG. The mirrors have a slightly different level of detail settings to the actual camera. Just watching the mirror there in that camera angle, just popping the inside of the car into existence if we get a bit closer. It's quite interesting how everything works. Let's have a look at the man on pole then, Mr. The Goose. Be interesting to see how he gets along most certainly. If he gets punted at turn 1, which is very possible here with all of these new drivers in the grid, then he doesn't tend to drive too well when he gets made angry. So it could be interesting to see an angry Goose doing laps around the track. Well, I just have to wait and see what happens.
Now, I'm not too sure if birds can fly, but we're gonna see. And now they're all getting gridded up finally. Let's see in the chat.
Bruh, shaking his car, raring to go, and we've got just a few more moments until we get going. We'll be right back after this very short break. as we see the drivers have lined up on the grid now. iCraft are getting a little jump start. We've got some lights on the gantry. I think that means we're about to get going. Oh, I was looking at the little flag board. Well, mistakes do sometimes get shown here. The timing, the flags actually not on this map, surprisingly. Hopefully we can get that fixed at some point. But for now, we will just have to wait a couple of minutes until the issue that has pursued the timing screen to get fixed seems to have duplicated everyone several times. How many times is Chili on there? Train's on there quite a fair few times. So is Eagle. Oh my! They seem to have gone so fast they've become quantum. They're everywhere, all at once.
Mitosis.
Mitosis. Oh my goodness! Yeah.
Blimey.
As they say, guys, the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Do not forget that. Back to Laguna Seca we come then with the chats, and it's going to be quite an interesting race here with this prolonged setup time. What does this exactly do to the drivers? Obviously, they've got themselves hyped up for a set moment, and that moment has been and gone, and we still haven't got driving. Usually by now, they would be well underway and focused on the driving, but with this extra setup time, a couple of drivers, certainly the new ones, might start to have their minds wandering. When you were doing racing, Chris, I haven't looked at your profile recently, so I don't know when you have done racing or how recent it was. But if there was a delay, how easy was it for you to get back in the moment when we got the final heads up?
We're on the grid again. Part, I wasn't really ready, and we are back on the grid.
We have the starting lights dotted all the way down the side of the grids here, as you see. 2 lights set.
And we see 5 red
lights going, and it's away we go for the Grand Prix here at Laguna Seca. Terrible start for Chile out in front of Rybed. Doma also getting a really bad start, getting forced into ghost mode, as we see a little battle for P1. We're going to stay with this Rybed and Happy Dolphin all the way down into turn 1. Dolphin hit a little tap with iCrafter, a little tap with Rybed as they both go running out wide into turn 1. Rybed staying out in front of Happy Dolphin, as we now have the little run down to turn 3. Actually, that hairpin is turn 2. Interestingly enough, on board then with iCraft in front. This is Rybred that we're on board with. Rybred just seemingly unable to get in front, as we see a little battle then. iCrafter and Eagle out in front. There we go, iCrafter. iCrafter, Eagle and Rybred all nose to tail, door to door bashing. And this is also allowing Dolphin to have a look down the inside. Almost 3 wide, certainly 2 wide. Eagle is going wide. Oh, ducks down behind Rybred. That could have been pretty nasty. The dirt down there, the gravel is certainly not your friend then. Dolphin down the inside into corkscrew. Eagle's gonna have to give that position up, and that's a nice position made up by Dolphin. Oh, sideways Eagle contact with Jammy, who makes his way argy-bargy all the way through down into Rainy Curve. As I said earlier, still looking quite dry, and Jammy again bumping up the rear of Eagle as we make our way through the final turn. Oh, down the inside, Eagle punts 2 drivers, iCrafter and Dolphin. That could be a pretty big accident. We see iCrafter all the way down the field, and the end of lap 1, iCrafter absolutely shafted. And so we see Rio now making up a few positions up into P5. Down the inside of Dolphin, looking for a move on Eagle, not quite getting it how he wants, as we now watch them into turn 3. The rookie driver making his way pretty safely. Oh, almost contact, and definitely is contact there with Eagle, who gets a very squirrely recovery out of turn 3. Very nicely held and recovered there for Eagle. Dolphin out down the inside of Rio as we make our way through turn 4. A lot of tyre scrubbing happening for all these drivers as we see iCrafter going down the inside of Rio, not quite working, scrubbing so much speed as he drifts his car sideways out of the corner. Then we have Eagle fighting Dolphin for P4. Not quite a podium position. Jamie's making his way from last all the way up. Hopefully race control, actually race control won't be able to do anything about the rest of the timing tower. As we see Dolphin going down the inside of Rainy Curve, that's not the line that you want to take. A lot of people find that going very wide through that corner gives you just a whole lot of speed somehow. The banking somehow just giving it a really nice line. If you go wide, Eagle very tank slapperish on the entry to the final corner. Not quite a tank slapper, but it was very interesting to see how his car behaved like that with Rio right in the back. He's also fighting Dolphin still as we make our way onto lap 3, down into the hairpin of turn 2 again. Oh, Dolphin's gone off wide a little bit, manages to keep it on track. No, he has gone wide. Eagle now down the inside. That's allowed him to go up to P4, and Dolphin is going to be kicking themselves if they can't get themselves back through pretty quickly. Broke just a tad too late, went very deep, and around turn 2 just took to the track limits, and Eagle with the racing line just nipped right through as if it was handed to him on a golden platter. Now into turn 6, Dolphin looking down the inside with Eagle as we go on board then with a happy Dolphin, and side by side still as we go through the run up. Oh, my microphones are all falling off the table. Eagle then falling down behind Dolphin, who gets a pretty nice run all the way up to the corkscrew. Train Raider then looking for a move on Eagle. Eagle jumping over the curbs as we make our way through the corkscrew. Then it's a really tight battle here. It's also a little battle for P2 out in front. Oh, Train looking down the inside of Eagle through Rennie Curve, not quite getting it working. Eagle now has the inside line through the final section. Oh, Train Raider's gone wide. A couple of tyres on the dirt. That's not going to do him too good at all. We see Train Raider then down out in front, and that is looking pretty good right there. Rybred out P2. Jamie fighting him for the final 2 podium spots. Down into turn 2 then, as we see Rybred having a little bit of a, is that damage that I see on his front or rear? A little bit of bumper issue.
Definitely quite a bit of damage. And I am tracking the penalties, and I see Rybred with a 1 second penalty, and Jamie with a 2 second, and so has Happy Dolphin got himself a 2 second penalty. And right now, Crafter has got himself 3 seconds of penalty. So I think he can thank the damage for that. But hopefully he'll be able to recover. But he's gonna have to keep a pretty good gap on Chili if he wants to keep that position, a P9 that he's currently holding right now.
Rio then just cutting over the curves as we enter the Rahal Straight on the way to the corkscrew. Still got Eagle and iCrafter behind as we make our way to the all too famous drop. We see iCrafter giving a little love tap to Eagle's rear end. Eagle then trying to return the favour to Rio this time as we have a little look out the back again. Oh, Eagle getting pretty close, and oh, is that contact? Something's happened. Eagle down the inside with iCrafter, very close as well. Eagle makes the position, and iCrafter gets so close to Rio as they just accumulate each other on the exit of the penultimate corner. Rio getting the outside line for the final corner. iCrafter just finding his way down the inside and through up into P7. As we see yellow flags out for turn 1. Riding on board again with Rio. You can see no one is... Oh, what is that? That's a lucky dive bomb and a half. iCrafter just out of nowhere, braking super late and gains 2 positions. That's now Eagle down the inside of Rio, who is having to fight for all of his glory. Eagle almost
goes wide.
into iCrafter. We now see Rio weaving all over Eagle's rear end, trying to fill up all of his mirrors on board now as we predict an overtake here into turn 5. Are we going to see anything? And down the inside, Rio, just a very nice, easy move. Eagle going to look for the old switcheroo. Is it going to work? Side by side now as we make our way into turn 6 under the little bridge. What's going to happen? Eagle down the inside, and that's Eagle right through as we make our way back to the run-up once again for the corkscrew. Out in front, the gap for P2 and 3 is 3-ish seconds, 2-ish seconds. Right here, though, the gap, a couple of tenths. Oh, Rio's gone wide at the corkscrew. He goes very wide, bumps his way through the innings, and he's lost a couple of tenths to iCrafter out in front, and he's going to have to make all of that gap up again.
Now, sorry to cut you off there, Nat, but don't forget, iCrafter has a 3-second penalty, so this position might as well go to Eagle as long as he's able to be under 3 seconds of Crafter, which with 6 minutes is totally possible for Eagle to manage. As we now head into turn 1 with Crafter.
Oh, Dolphin gets the old switcheroo on Train Raider, who went very deep into the Andretti hairpin. He's looking on the rear end as he taps
Dolphin
him.
Goes wide.
Dolphin spins it at turn 3, and I think he's beached in the gravel. And he toes back to the pits. That is so unfortunate for the bronze driver. He was doing really well today, and it's just terrible luck to see. Hopefully he can get some points here, but he is P8 already, and it's not looking good. Bruh is, however, 50 seconds behind him. That's his only form of solace, but it could be too late. Bruh then just making his way past, and you heard him there. Falling all the way down is Happy Dolphin. It's not good news for him. He's out of the points, out of the running for the time being. Eagle still on the back end then of iCrafter. The battle about a second now, but don't forget they do also have race 2 in a few moments. I believe we got race 2. Do we have 2 races in Vivace?
Let me check. It doesn't.
It's a new series, but it doesn't say how many races we've got or what format the races are.
Well, considering we did start with a reverse, it's only safe to assume we are gonna have a normal one.
Eagle then riding up slipstream right up to iCrafter into the Andretti hairpin. Are we going to see an overtake? Down the inside he goes, launches it, breaks so much later contact, and that sends iCrafter off to the outskirts, and well, he makes his way back. Eagle letting him past again, though, very sportsmanlike of him, lets him through and says, I didn't make that pass legally, I will let you take that position back, and apologies for the contact. Rio then on the back of Eagle, a little bit of a tank sniper into turn 4. Hopefully he can keep it together as we see Eagle now in front of this pack. iCrafter falling all the way back. Something's happened to iCrafter as he makes his way down the inside of Rio now. Yellow flags in front. Doma's gone off. Rejoins. Is Doma getting in the way? Oh, Eagle moving all the way to the inside to avoid Doma, and that looks like a little bit of contact between Rio and iCrafter as well. As I try and find someone in the list. Here we go. Rio then just getting the best out of the trio with that Doma incident. Doma is 3 laps down. That is not what you want to see at all. Oh my goodness, what has happened to Jammy?
Jammy.
What?
I think that's optimal.
No, certainly isn't. Back to Dolphin in front.
And he made Dom up, pushes him.
Well, he's
What's
lost a
going on? He
wheel,
shouldn't push
so... Let's have a quick look at Schukel for some reason. I've just clicked onto them. P8, last of the lead lap runners. Any moment, though, he is going to be lapped by Goose in front, who has a 16-second lead to Rybread behind. You know how he said Chile could be in the running? He is the first person on lap 1. Something's happened with him. He's had to have a pit stop. Unfortunate news for him. Back to the battle then with Rio. Oh my goodness, what has gone on here? Rio, very, very wide at turn 3, loses 2 positions to Eagle and iCraft. He was just making a position up on Eagle when we passed over to him in the gravel. As we now see Rio and iCraft having a little gap to make their way back to. iCraft has a penalty. Do you in race control know? Well, not actual race control, but with the messages from them know how long that penalty is, by any chance?
Who exactly for? Because we have a ton of penalties
Rio.
here, so.
iCraft, I mean.
Yeah,
Sorry.
for iCraft, I just see here on my time screen, it's still 3 seconds, but I did see him go off the track quite a handful of times, and I can't really blame him with the amount of damage he has. You can just see it on the scar. Still able to drive it off though, so I'm quite impressed here with iCrafter.
Goose then on the final lap of the race, and the fastest lap as well. It's going to be pretty interesting to see if he makes a mistake. It would be completely unforced if he did. Rio pulling out to the inside as we make our way over the start-finish line. Not quite getting it working how he wants. Pulls back into the slipstream of iCrafter. Down the inside he looks into turn 1 to the outside. iCrafter down the inside of Eagle, who gives the position up quite easily. Tries to get the slipstream, tries to get the switch back on the run out of turn 1. Doesn't get it working. iCrafter positioning his car perfectly to block Eagle's pass back. And now is in the lead of this very, very tight trio. That's Chile out in front with more damage. He's gonna fall behind them and let them pass. On board then, down the inside goes iCrafter on Chile, and Chile just getting in
the... with Chile, and he's off the track now. Had some contact with Eagle there. Now Rio's gonna try to make a move on Eagle as they go side by side. But they both go off the track. I don't really believe what I've just seen. But Eagle is going to keep his position.
We have just missed it, but Goose has crossed the line first. Very well done there for the Goose. Rybread then gets P2.
And the chain raider now in P3, as we are going to see now Crafter heading for a P4 with Eagle right behind them. But Eagle might gain the position on Crafter. Rio making some contact with the wall, almost binning it. But is Eagle going to take a position? And he is taking the position away from Crafter, so Eagle's going to be in P4. And iCrafter in P5. Rio finishes in P6. As Shoko now has yet to finish. So does Bruh. Shoko now making his way down the corkscrew. He's just a few meters away from finally finishing this race. And I must say, Nath, with the amount of action we've seen here, you don't even have time to look at the timer to notice that the race is ending. You must agree, don't you?
Yeah, I barely had time to realize that Goose had crossed the line. I knew that he was going to cross the line soon, but I didn't know that it was going to be quite that soon. As we now see Schukel crossing the line for P7. Ignore the time screen, it is P7. I can confirm that to you guys. That is Bruh P8, and then Happy Dolphin and everyone else is a few laps down.
Now, if this was with the reverse grid, just imagine how the normal grid is gonna be. Just gonna get started very shortly. Yes, already. And that. Oh, I forgot to speak English.
Okay, let's have a quick look at the results then for race 1. We see Goose, the dominant winner, pole position, and well, actually, he was reversed. We didn't get pole, but he did get the fastest lap. And Rybird P2, Train P3, Eagle P4. The drivers then on the pits, on the grid, and they are just raring to go. In a moment now, we will see the lights go out as we see Jammy not finishing down in P12.
All of them go back in the pits. So it looks like race control still has to do their job. Don't think we had anyone else join us here for this race.
Let's have a quick look at the grid then. Well, we still have the time. Goose P1, this is not reverse this time. Goose is P1, Train P2. Pretty good qualifying from them all those minutes ago. As we make our way down the grid, we see Rybird P3, Dolphin P4. Dolphin looking pretty strong out there, and Rybird was on their own, unfortunately, but hopefully they can make their way up. Chile P5, they had a lot of issues at one point and had to toes the pits, unfortunately. One lap down is how they finished. Icroft at P6 alongside. Bruh P7 and Dummer P8. Dummer having a pretty good race at one point, and the drivers now on the grid, and away we go. A terrible start for Bruh out there as we now watch the drivers. Let's have a quick look at iCrafter.
Also, all the way in the back. It's getting a horrid start. I sort of cut you off there now.
I don't think you are. iCrafter now down into turn 1, looking for a move on Happy Dolphin in that Vanta black car. iCrafter not quite getting a move working. A little move down at the back as we see Jammy looking down on iCrafter, not quite getting it working either. Who was that? Was that Rio that I saw having a little moment at the back of the pack as well? I can't quite see them in the list, so I'll give up and have a look at this. iCrafter going a little bit wide on the exit of turn 4. Jammy is hunting down his back, breathing all the way down into turn 4 we go. Contact between Jammy and iCrafter, the two yellow cars, door banging, and Jammy up into P4. Someone's gone off. Bruh's gone off, I think. Someone behind him has gone off. Chile is, looks like Chile's got a little bit of damage, although he is keyboard steering. He just looks a little bit too shifty for my liking. He's gone off as well. Dome has also gone off behind them. Let's have a quick look at Jammy then as he makes his way. Well, someone's had a massive crash up behind. You can hear it. Jammy then looking for the very wide outside line through Rainy Curve, which I said is suitable for a wide line, but we haven't seen anyone take a line quite as wide as that. Jammy then looking down the outside, down the inside, 3 wide into the final turn, a little bit of contact, and Jammy then having to back out. Rybird down the inside of Happy Dolphin. Happy Dolphin having to keep up the side-by-side action as we go into turn 1. Pulls out behind Rybird behind Happy Dolphin. Jammy looking down the inside, gets cut off by oh, hang on. No, they're really going for it now, aren't they? Jammy looking for the outside line, still behind Rybird, who's looking on the inside of Happy Dolphin. Dolphin goes pushed off. Jammy all the way downside. Mate, okay, you take over.
And obviously, Rybird going for the move, side by side with Dolphin, makes contact. Rybird almost goes off. And now Jamie also makes contact with Dolphin. More contact, and Jamie is off wide into the wall. And Ryber is gonna take it away. iCrafter also, no, excuse me, that's Goose in the sand. Looks like he lost a few positions, not as good as the previous race. As he's now down to P5, but he's looking to make the move on Crafter. Dolphin keeping them right behind them. The trainer just seems to be taking off, as we see on the timing screen. And now Jamie's fallen all the way behind Eagle, who has quite some distance to cover between him and Crafter. As they make their way into the corkscrew, Dolphin nearly goes off, trying to keep a steady drive. Goose falling right behind him. Happy Dolphin goes off almost again, makes contact with Goose. As they head into the last few turns. And Crafter still sticking behind Goose, and Dolphin's gone off. And Goose now takes the position away from Crafter, and Dolphin is now also in the back. As we now head into turn 1, Train Raider still leading this race. We Ryber right behind them. And Goose looks like he is now able to climb right back up into a podium, but Crafter might give him some trouble, as we do have 11 minutes left in this race here at Laguna Seca.
With 11 minutes on the clock then, Train Raider leads lap 3, Rybred 4 seconds behind him, Goose, 2 seconds behind him, then iCrafter and Happy Dolphin. Jamie getting the position on Eagle then from Bruh, Schukel and Chile. Doma, Schukel, Rio and Jamie are all even further behind than that. Happy Dolphin trying to get a position on iCrafter, following all the way through Rahal Strait. Now into the corkscrew we go. Happy Dolphin just sticking behind iCrafter, and he gets a little bump as he heads over the crest of the corkscrew and into Rainy Curve we go. Dolphin taking a sharper line than Crafter, who takes a very wide line. And into the final sets of turns that we go for lap 2 for these guys. See Rybred and Goose out in front, and a little bit of door dashing. Dolphin.
It's worth mentioning, Rybred has got himself a 3-second penalty, but Goose got himself now a 4-second. I've just seen it on the timing screen getting updated. 4-second penalty for Goose. So he's gonna have to give it all he has if he doesn't want to lose his position.
Goose then down the inside of Rybred into turn 3, and not quite getting it to work out how he wants. He's staying really closing up. As we see, a little bit of contact with the sausage cups. We see Goose going down the inside of Rybred, not quite working. Rybred, a very last minute shut of the door, partway through the braking zone. I expect Goose to appeal that one. You can't move under the brakings, Rybred. If you're listening, probably aren't. Oh, Goose absolutely clattering that sausage curb. You can do that around here. If you get the correct line, it can go just right under the wheels and not affect your car too hard around these turns, but still not something you want to do too much, as it can unsettle the car if you take the wrong line. iCrafter in front of Dolphin, in front of Jamie, out in the battle behind this. Still here for battle P2. Rybred and Goose have gone off. Rybred in front of Goose, and Goose has got around Rybred around the outside into turn 10, and that is not what Rybred would have wanted. He now has to get the slipstream and run all the way to the front. iCrafter on this little fetch back here down the inside of Dolphin keeps it up into P10. Jamie just following iCrafter. He makes the position on Dolphin. Dolphin now falls down to P6. iCrafter is on the inside. Into turn 1, it's debated whether you want the inside line or the outside line. Both lines have their benefits, and both lines have their disadvantages. Jamie then round the outside is being forced by iCrafter. Dolphin looks for a move but doesn't quite get it working. It's BTC Doma pulling up to the side and then pass. Jamie now down the inside of turn 3. iCrafter contact, not quite going wide, but certainly losing the position to Jamie, who is now up into P4, hunting down the people for the podium. Dolphin looking for a move on iCrafter, going round the outside, moves to the inside, pulls behind again into turn 5, where we're going to see Dolphin going, stays behind, but iCrafter goes a little bit wide, misses the apex. Dolphin now moves down the inside, they'll switcheroo a little 2 turns later, but he gets passed now into P5. And the gap then 3/10, but we go down now up into the corkscrew, and let's have a little look on board then with the Happy Dolphin as we go down into a corkscrew. You can see just how tight it is through that turn. You really don't want to be too close on the entry into the corkscrew as we see the American at their home race here in Laguna Seca, just drifting their car behind Dolphin out in front. Hang on, let me
Meanwhile, to keep you up on the penalties, Goose now up to a 5-second penalty, Rybred with 4 seconds, and Jamie with 1 second. And Dolphin now also got himself a 2-second penalty, so lots of penalties going around, but I am rather astonished at how Goose has been able to get a 5-second
Dolphin down the inside,
penalty.
sorry to cut you off. Dolphin down the inside of Jamie, contact. Jamie's gone wide, more contact as he rejoins down to the outside for Jamie. Oh, Dolphin's gone, spun it.
Dolphin!
Nice
Almost goes
recovery.
wide.
And
Crafter is gonna watch it from the back. And this might be what the Crafter needs in order to finally overtake Dolphin and climb back to a P5 finish. Just a few more mistakes is all that Crafter needs. Now back with you, Nath. Alright. Now, do you see Dolphin not making as many mistakes now? He's trying to keep it together and not give the position away to Crafter. But he is sandwiched with Crafter and Jamie as Crafter goes wide. Has a bit of contact with Happy Dolphin. Just miss out there on the corkscrew Crafter. But he is now closer than ever to Dolphin, but he will receive a penalty for that corner cutting as he almost drifts the corner as we head into the last turn. Jamie still leading these 2 drivers, Happy Dolphin and Crafter. The trainer still being the leader of this race. And Goose now with a 7-second penalty. And Crafter, surprisingly, 0 seconds of penalty. So I must give him some credit now, 1 second. But yeah, Goose, 7 seconds of penalty. Not gonna be very good for him. Considering Rybred is only 9 seconds, and with only 4 minutes left in the race, he could shrink down that gap and take P2 away from Goose. As we're watching with Happy Dolphin, Crafter right behind them. And Jamie still keeping the lead on them. Rybred is in for a nice podium finish, as long as he's able to keep it together. But Jamie is slowly closing in on him. You almost see the green car there in the picture. And do keep in mind, if you guys also want to join us here for the racing, just head over to BeamGP.com. There you'll find all the links. If you just want to join our Discord, head over to discord.beamgp.com. And make sure to subscribe to our channel for more broadcasts and videos. I'm gonna have it on board with Happy Dolphin. Excuse me, following with Rybred. With Jamie right behind them. Still trying to close off that gap. Still trying to go in for the position. I say now into turn 1. Could be a good chance for Jamie to gain some time on Rybread, as we now see him peeking through the smoke slightly. With his boot open there, trying to gain an aerodynamic advantage on Rybread, trying to do anything that he can to just gain that time, get a podium finish. But is it going to be enough? We are yet to see, but we do have 2 minutes left of this race. 2 minutes and 15 seconds to be precise. He is slowly closing in as Rybread goes just a bit wide. As we now head on into the corkscrew, this again could be a good time for Jamie to gain some time on Rybread and getting the podium. He's just too far away to give us that fight that we want to see here. As Rybread goes a bit wide off into the sand. And we're about to head onto the last lap, led by Train Raider and Goose in P2, but he does have himself quite a hefty penalty, now at 9 seconds. So that could give it away to Rybread.
What is Goose's penalty?
Goose is at a 9-second penalty.
Down the inside, we see Jamie on Rybread. He's really trying to get past here in turn 2. But the Andretti hairpin making it past, but Rybread now on the inside in turn 3. Contact with Jamie nose to rear. And Jamie still out in front. Rybread is going to be trying to get it past, though, back again. As we see Rybread just riding his tail. Jamie dodging to the inside. As we see Rybread riding around the outside here in turn 5. Down the outside, Jamie's going to have the inside into turn 6. And then, right, Jamie just pulling behind, getting some slipstream from Jamie. As we see him going all the way through up the house straight into the corkscrew. Goose and Train Raider getting very close to each other as they enter the final few corners. Let's have a look at this turn here. Where's Jamie going to go? Jamie still out in front, and this gap is just getting a little bit longer for Rybread's liking. Final few corners. Goose then also a final few corners from this man right here. Train Raider makes his return to win here at Laguna Seca and wins at Laguna Seca.
And now Jamie crossing the line, still has a penalty, and he's taking P3. Rybread up to P4 and Happy Dolphin in P5. Now Crafter has yet to cross the line, and he does P6. Eagle now just a few meters away to end this 15-minute race. Takes away P7. Now we have to wait on Shoko and Bra and Chili, and I believe also Doma to finish their race. Shoko now in P8, and we still have to wait on Bra as he makes his way in the final turn. And he's headed in for a P9 finish. And Doma following right behind. Chili taking last position, sadly. Doma now, I believe, in 10 and Chili in 11. As now all the drivers are back in the pit box yet again. And Chili crosses the line to finish this race here at Laguna Seca. Not a very good race for Chili, but I think in the following races that we have, definitely on Sunday, he's going to recover. We have GTGS coming up very soon, our automation series. Now I must say that was quite a performance we just saw from Jamie Rockway and Goose and Train Raider, all very good performances here at Laguna Seca, I must say. Especially for Train Raider, we haven't seen him in quite a while. So being able to take victory in the second race is something. And Jamie Roca, starting all the way from the back, was able to do very well and snatch a podium. But I'm giving props to all the drivers. All of them did very well here at Laguna Seca.
Yeah, so very good performance from everyone. Let's have a quick look then at the results for that race then. We see Train Raider winning that race by from Goose by about 1 second. Jammy then a few moments behind as well. Rybread and Happy Dolphin and iCraft all battling out for P3 at one point. It was a really good battle between all of them the whole race. Eagle lines up finishes P7, Shuko P8, Bro P9, Chile P10, with Doma P11. A few of these people, unfortunately, being a few laps down as well. As we make our way on to the final driver, Rio, just absolutely nowhere, and I don't think they finished the race at all, unfortunately. How does this affect the Drivers' Championship? Well, after 1 round, 2 races here at Laguna Seca, let's have a quick look at that as well then. Or not, apparently.
Right now, I'm still yet to see anyone lining up here at the commentary box door.
Here we go. Drivers' Championship. Goose, a healthy lead here as well. Healthy lead in the Area Cup earlier. Train, 4 points behind though. He could snap up any loose ends next weekend. Train Raider P3, Eagle P4, iCrafter P10, Rio P6, iCrafter P5, I mean. Shuko. Oh, hang on, this is all messy. Let's run this graphic again, I think. That way I can catch up. Right. Leaders Goose, then Train Raider, then Rybread with 20 points, Jammy with 11 points, Eagle and iCrafter both on 10 points. Pretty good positions for all of them then. As we make our way on to the next page of drivers, we see Happy Dolphin 6 points, Rio 4 points, Shoko 3 points, Bruh 1 point, and Chile, unfortunately, with Doma 0 points for both of those drivers. A pretty unfortunate weekend then for those people at the bottom of the lists. Doma not really getting too many points this weekend, or today on Friday. We do have more races coming up. If you'd like to take part in them, just heading over to our Discord. And let's have... Well, what were you going to say then, Chris?
Well, definitely head over to discord.beamgp.com if you want to join here for racing. If you want to see the drivers' ratings, just make sure to head over to beamgp.com, and if you want more of these broadcasts or videos, just make sure to subscribe to our channel, Beam Grand Prix. You're watching it right now. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, all
Quite
right.
a lovely race we have here.
Well, let's have a look at the upcoming race then. Tomorrow at 3 PM UTC, we have Formula 4 at Aragon. And then a couple of hours after that, we have the Hypercars at Le Mans. Again, a couple of hours after that, at 9 PM UTC time, we have the Formula 4 Americas at Nashville Speedway. And after that, the Corvette Cup Challenge race in Road Atlanta. All of these are ranked. If you'd like to join in, as Chris said, heading over to our Discord at discord.beamgp.com. All the information on how to sign up is in there. Well, how would you like to sign out for that amazing race?
Must say, started off quite chaotic, but slowly built itself up to be more proper racing. We had quite some good fight in the end, especially with Rybred and Jamie. But that's all I have to say. Lovely.
In the words that everyone here loves to repeat, simply lovely there from Chris. I'm going to say about the same thing. It was really good to watch these drivers battle out in this new series here in BeamGP, along with the Area Cup earlier. No one has actually driven these cars in a race here in BeamGP before. If you would like to have a look, well, as we've said many times already, head over to our Discord and our YouTube. Thanks for watching. We've got more content next tomorrow and Sunday. We'll see you next time.